What's up, you guys? This is episode 25 of For the Femme.
25.
This is our second time doing the intro, so
yeah,
it's
I was like,
whatever.
it's so awkward the second time when you have to do it because it's like so fake. But hi. But as we were saying,
I almost ripped her head off.
Yeah, Faithlin came in a little attitude-y, so I pushed back. But you know, that's what best friends do. You make up in like 2.5 seconds. That's what happens.
Well, no, we're both psychos because we both have the same good side, and so we like switch off every week. And she came in same side as last week, and I said a hard no.
Technically, my thing was that we were both on the same side because we had our guests here, so we were both looking here on our good side. But she said because she had to turn back to me sometimes
because
it was
like,
her turn.
There was an episode where we did have a guest, and I said the same thing, and she said no, it doesn't count because it's the side, and I said okay, I'm sticking to that. Anyway, I look like shit today regardless, so it doesn't really matter. But thanks for being our therapist.
Yeah, it's also so gross out in New York today. It's like muggy and like
dark.
About to rain and dark. Yeah,
I don't like
when
it's
I got
dark.
our vibes all weird.
And there was a full moon.
Was there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like super follow that stuff, but apparently it was like.
Yeah, I don't really know what the full moon. I feel like that's supposed to be when you like manifest, right? Like on full moon.
Yeah,
or is it bad energy? I forget.
No, it's good, but you can feel certain moons like feel intense. And I'm like,
the emotion.
If the moon can control the waves and control the tide, like they definitely control us. We're 75% water. Anyway, tell me about your week and a half.
That analogy?
It wasn't an analogy. It's a fact.
Yeah, but like the moon, just the way you reverted it back to the moon, that one's good. That one will be a clickbait.
Sorry.
My week. It's so funny. I'm like, I come in like saying, no, I'm gonna say about my week, but I'm trying to think what I did my last week. What did I do?
Well, it's kind of hard when there's so much time. I feel like.
I went to Williamsburg with Amber and Christina, and it was so fun. They're so cute. It was like a day party. I've been to it before.
Yeah, you guys looked like so cute. Like you were having so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I like it. Definitely not like that's not my music per se, you know. But they
what
actually
kind of
did,
music was it? Like
well, it was
techno?
a little bit of techno, but then they did like remix some like hip hop and stuff and like rap songs, which is like more me.
Yeah,
because I just need like some words. Even though like I'm the worst, I'm the worst with lyrics, and I never can even remember them, and I'll mess them up. But like I just need to have that.
I get that. If I'm like super drunk, then I can enjoy techno. Yeah. But like
other than that, like it's not for you.
Well, when you were with Christina, I was with my grandma that weekend. But this past weekend, when we went out with our friends, later we ended up at Outer Heaven, and I was like having the best time. I kind of like Outer Heaven.
I like Outer Heaven. I've always liked it.
Really? I didn't. Oh yeah, I knew you always liked it. But like, I've only been a handful of times.
Yeah, I haven't been that much, but I think it's because like I always just because it's right next to the box. I usually just go to the box.
That's what we did. We went to the box and then we went to Heaven. But I don't like. Hot take, I don't like the box.
See, my thing is I've had some really good nights there, and then I've had uneventful nights. Like I think it just like depends what the mood is, who you're with, like kind of vibes. Okay. But I say that about most places too. I'm like, sometimes I love a place, and then sometimes I'm like, honestly, it's really not that great.
Fair.
It's about company and how drunk you are.
I got more tattoos.
Oh yes, tattoos.
Like healing. And I got these. I've never had long nails like this.
They're longer than mine, you guys.
It's insane.
Look how short mine are. I know. Hers.
We swapped. I don't know what's going on. Did you put 4?
Well, my pinky fell off.
Just funny how you did the 4. Anyway. I feel like a new woman.
They're so gorge.
They're fun, but it's not like...
They're not you. They're not fully you.
I don't know. It's like weird.
They are long though. That's one thing about...
It's like weird.
I love, once again, another thing I love about press-ons, not just because I'm gay and it's easier for certain situations, it's also so easy.
You can change it.
You can change it, and then you can take them off if you're really like so over like not being able to like buckle a clasp or something, or like even like picking things up. It's so awkward.
I can barely do my hair.
Putting your card in the ATM, it's the hardest thing with the long. Forget it. I'd
never really take cash out though, so.
I don't really actually want to.
Yeah, I was like, have you struggled with that or something?
I guess in the past I don't really know recently, but
that's so funny.
I know it. I know the worst. Opening up a what the fuck is the electric car? Why can't I think of it?
A Tesla,
because you can't.
Oh
push
yeah,
it.
you have to like. Push
oh
my god,
it's so hard. I do use
my
knuckle. It's not really that cute. I'm like struggling to get it. It's fine. Sometimes also when it's dark out and I'm a little drunk, I can't. Find it. Like I'm like touching it.
I don't really like the Teslas. I get nauseous.
Why? Because of the sky?
No, it's just like it's a different. You don't hit the brake on a Tesla. Like it just like slows down. It's very weird.
I think I've just realized I get really car sick kind of whenever I ride in the back. Because when I'm in the front, I never have an issue.
Yeah.
It's the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question if you want to talk about it.
Oh,
what happened at your father's dinner?
Oh. Yeah,
do you want to get into that?
We can talk about that.
I think it's something really important.
I'm interested in your perspective as well because you were basically witnessed it all.
Yeah. So we were out with Faithlin's father and some of his big clients. They own a really big clothing company all around the world, huge $1 billion company. Mm-hmm. So we were there. We all having a good time. We all were drinking. And
side note, the guy who said it didn't own that company.
Oh yes, he did not.
But he knew.
So he was an older gentleman. So sometimes I give
like 70s.
I give an older generation the benefit of the doubt sometimes because they're just so not used to it. It's not like Gen Z's now where like it's so
fluid, like everyone
open.
It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So I'll give him that. So he would make comments to Faithlin a little bit and I at like the dinner table, like not too much. Faithlin's like joking, like when we get married, like my wife, like just joking with the people, like we're all having fun, like everyone's laughing.
But that's just how we are when we're drunk. Yeah. We're like, oh, like,
and it was fine. It was like no one else cared. Everyone was like laughing, thinking it was so funny. And then Faithlin went to the bathroom and
he was coming back.
And the man was coming back and he actually stopped Faithlin. Yeah. And I guess you can say because I wasn't there.
He was just like, you know, you need to respect your dad. He would be happier if you were with a man. And normally that wouldn't affect me. But I think it just took me back because my dad is around this one specific person very often. And like, I know my dad, when I came out, he never cared. He's so supportive.
No, he literally doesn't care at all.
He's so supportive, so loving. Like he literally loves Shay too. And so that, I don't know, it just like hit a weird point, I think.
To me, it was also just so unprofessional. And I think to speak on someone's like a father-daughter relationship when you don't even know Faithlin.
No, I like
barely
even
know the father. It's more of a work relationship. I think was just so uncalled for. And I think something like that also by an older man, I think he kind of took advantage of you. He waited till you were alone and like coming back. True. He didn't do it at the table in front of everyone.
Yeah, it was weird.
So that was like my take on it. But but
I got back to the table and I told my dad and then we literally just all Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
Like my dad didn't even say anything. Like we all just left. He was like, I love you. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. And you and your father have such a strong relationship that I know it was not at all true, but I just think for a man to come up to you to say it's just so disrespectful and like they don't know you, they don't know your family, and also who cares? Like you don't have the right to come up to someone and say that, even if it was true. Like you don't have the right to say that.
Yeah, and normally that stuff wouldn't even get to me, but I think again, like you said, because he was an older man that I know my dad is around often, it was like a little bit weird to me because even in a work setting, I expect my family to be open about, or not, you don't need to like share that I'm
have a
queer.
Gay daughter.
Yeah, no, but like to be accepting. Like if someone were to say something, he would be like, you know, like I do have a gay daughter. And like, you know, you know what I mean? Like I don't want any.
It's not like your dad holds back. Like your dad will say what's on his mind.
Yeah. No. He's a little, with me, he
with
is.
With you, maybe. Okay, maybe in a work situation.
Yeah, but anyway, it was definitely weird, but
I also just feel like I haven't had someone like say something like that to me in like years. Like since I was like maybe like.
How do you think you would have felt like if you were in my position?
Well, you know me, I don't like confrontation as much, so I honestly probably
I don't like confrontation.
No, you don't, but like you can like say, and especially for me in that setting, I would feel so uncomfortable and that I don't even think I would say anything to anyone, and I would talk to like my father after. But that's just me, and I'm trying to work on that because that's fucked up, and I should be able to say something to that. But yeah,
I just also like we're all just different. We're all different, you know. Like I just have that like spice personality.
You do.
Yeah. Like, I went back to the table and, like, basically it was like, we need to go. Like, looking at the guy, like,
yeah, and then your dad was asking what's wrong. So then, like, they kind of, like, said it out loud, and everyone's like, wait, what the fuck? Everyone's just, like, taken back, because I was like, wait.
No, yeah, because I'm like, I get it. When alcohol is involved, things can get messy and misinterpreted and whatnot, but I was just like, no, like, I'm not going to walk back to the table and act like nothing happened. Like, if you're going to say what you said to me in private, you're going to say it to everyone at this table.
Yeah, and then he tried to explain it. It was he tried to explain it, I think, a little bit differently.
Incorrectly.
Yeah,
whatever.
like, that didn't happen, but it's okay. Whatever.
Anyway, we have 2 very scary dating stories to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Wait, warning to everyone out there.
This is a trigger warning for sure, because you will probably think about what we're about to share with you for days.
Yeah. So when I heard this, like, I was like, there's no way. And Madison, our friend, she was like, no, this girl is our age, like, knows her, like, normal, like, not weird at all. Like, she is just a normal, I think, what was she, like, 20-something-year-old in New York.
Went to NYU.
NYU, like, not, like, going after, like, creepy guys or like, just normal. Like, one of us on the dating apps. And that's what, like, really freaked me out about it.
Yeah.
But if you want to share that part, because I feel like you know better.
I mean, I feel like I know as much as you, but to make a long story short, this girl was seeing this guy for about 10 dates. And a lot of people in New York know about this. It's kind of like going around.
Which it needs to be.
Yeah. It happened, I think, a few months ago. And if any of this is incorrect, I'm sorry, you know, when things get passed around. Also, like...
Telephone.
Yeah, but I also just want to preface, like, I don't want to, like, share this as it's not a joke. It's very serious. And, like, the girl who went through this, I'm so sorry. Like, if this gets back to you, you know, like, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so she goes on about 10 dates with this guy. She's seeing him for a while. And they had never, like, slept together or nothing. And one night he's like, can I come back with you? And she says, yeah, of course, you know, but, like, she just has this weird feeling. She's like, but can you sleep on the couch? And he's like, yeah, okay, fine. She goes in her room. An hour later, she starts hearing this, like, really weird noise. And she had this gut feeling. So she called the cops and she said, hey, you know, this is, like, really weird and, like, I'm probably being crazy, but can you just stop by on your rounds home? Like, I'm hearing this weird noise. I invited this guy up. You know, she prefaced that she invited him over, like, you know, there was whatever. He's on the couch. She's in the room. So she locks her door. An hour and a half goes by and the police get in the apartment and then they knock on her door and they're like, hi, it's the police. You know, we're here. She opens the door and the cop's like, but we need to blindfold you before we take you out of the apartment. And she's like, what are you talking about?
I would also just be so weirded out and scared that a policeman would even say that to me.
Right?
I've really never even heard that.
No, me neither. Like, that's so crazy. And she's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, miss, I guess they take her out of the apartment and they're like, miss, he saran wrapped your whole apartment and laid out all of your kitchen knives. And he was like going to kill her.
Yeah. Like, how
that was
crazy.
Like the weird noise that she heard, like that, like opening of like the saran wrap.
You know what's like also crazy though? I think I would just like, if I went on a date, even if it was like a little bit weird, like 10 dates is a lot with someone.
Oh, that's like you're in a relationship.
No,
with them. Like you think you know someone.
Oh, yeah,
that's like
I'm
months.
surprised she just didn't open the door. Like I think I would have opened the door and been like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I am like, thank God that was something her gut feeling must have been so strong, and I'm so happy that happened because like I would just open the door and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And then seeing him do that, I cannot
like,
even imagine.
Like where do you go?
I know.
You know, like you're trapped. And like New York apartments are small.
I know.
Like you're trapped. It's crazy.
I also just can't believe, and this is what scares me the most about it, is as we were saying, 10 dates. You think you know someone by 10 dates. Like by 10 dates, I was already dating like my ex. Like, you know, like 10 dates is like.
Well, there's so many things about this that are really scary. One, it's the 10 dates. Two, it's technically he did not do anything to her.
I know.
So like he could work his way out of this.
I know. I wonder,
and like who knows if he comes from like a big family or something like that. Like you don't know. But also like for him to do this, he must have done this before.
Oh my God, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's not one thing you just think, I don't know. And that's
you're just like, oh, I'm going to try it one time.
Like go on Hinge and then like, dude, that's so scary.
In New York.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he technically didn't do anything wrong. And
like he could be like, oh, well, this is role play.
I was going to say, that's what I was going to say. They could say it's like some like,
kinky thing.
Kinky role playing.
I mean, they would get in trouble for like calling the whatever, like that stuff. But yeah.
That's so scary. So yeah, that's what my warning is. Just like be very.
You really
very
don't know
mindful.
people.
Yeah. I heard this one, and once again, if it's not correct, please.
Sorry,
don't come for us. This girl was out with a guy, and it was going well or something, and I don't know exactly how many dates they were doing. But he comes back to their apartment and was like, "Hey, like, can I give you like a massage or something?" And he starts like giving an oil massage or whatever, and she doesn't think anything of it. But then I think she like was like kind of weirded out. So she was like, okay, like I'm gonna go or something.
Again, women's intuition is so strong. And follow it. You're never wrong.
She goes home, and then like for the next couple of days, she's itching so badly. And she's like, what the fuck? So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor like checks everything, and she was like, have you been used anything or blah, 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 anything? And then it turns out actually that the oil used was supposed to like kind of like help like soften up your like skin or something.
To be able to like take it off.
To like be able to eat, like cut up and eat. Like it was like a whole like, and I don't know, this could be like, I could have just
it's like a cannibal thing.
But yeah, it was more of a cannibal.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I feel the same way. I'm like, did I just butcher that whole
so like, don't come for us.
I know, I'm like, we're just girls.
We're just girls that hear things.
God. Yeah.
We're trying to protect our other girls, okay?
Yeah.
But like, okay, I guess like
a woman would never do this shit. I'm sorry. Do you think a lesbian would do this? Like they might break your heart and like, you know, step on it a few times, but like
I don't know.
They're not gonna kill you.
That's so scary. So yeah.
Emotionally they might kill you.
Yeah, so warning, be safe out there, ladies.
Yeah. And like if you have a gut feeling, definitely follow it.
Yes. Okay, well, going into like, how has your experiences been like on the dating apps? Like not even like even before you met your ex, like just like overall.
I feel like I go back and forth. I'm like looking on my Hinge right now. I'm like, oh, like swipe. I'm just kidding. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I like using an app. It kind of feels like a game to me though. It like I don't really meet that many people.
I also think it's just so superficial. Like I don't care what people say. It's so fucking superficial.
Because there's people I see on the street every day where I'm like, wow, you're cute. But like maybe if I saw you on an app,
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't like it.
And like some people suck at taking pictures. Like there are people out there that look so much better in person than they do in their pictures. Like so like, oh, sorry if you're one of those.
Sorry.
The apps are not for you.
They're not. I matched with this one girl, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And she, whatever, we're messaging back and forth. And she goes, oh my God, I just saw you popped up on my TikTok. And she goes, oh my God. And I said, oh God. And she goes, I feel like I know so much about you now. I said, oh geez.
But that's the funniest thing.
I don't like it.
But no, I think that's even the worst thing to say because everyone knows like you and I's like Instagram and TikTok is not us at all. Like people meet us and they're like, you guys are so silly, goofy, weird.
Yeah,
I'm like
down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I portray such a different thing on Instagram. I think whatever. I think most people do. So like for them to be like, oh, I think I really know you. Like, no, you don't, girly pop.
No, and it was weird. And I was just like, kind of want to like unmatch this person because I'm like, I don't want to go on a date potentially and then have this girl have this preconceived idea of who I am. And then like, that's so weird.
Or like her asking you a question, you try to answer and she's like, oh, I already knows.
Or like she thinks she knows.
Exactly, because it's so not true.
No, like I can't do that.
I know. I think a lot with my dating apps is like, if I do like match with someone, like it's very hard for me to get it out of the
out of the app.
Like I kind of just sometimes leave it there.
How do we get out of the app?
I'm like, sometimes I just leave it there because I'm just like, I don't know. And you know I hate texting.
Yeah.
I'm not really the best texter. I think people No, I'm definitely more of a voice note or
I hate it.
in person. I just get my point across way better, and like the way I want to say it.
No, I get it
with voice.
I get it.
But yeah, I always think that's the funny part. It's like half the people I want to say I just leave in the app.
Yeah, I have this problem where I see people, like, I hate to use like a roster, but like anyone that I'm seeing, it's a monthly thing. Like, I don't see people like once a week.
I'll see you next Tuesday, the 20th. Of April.
Yeah. No, literally. Like, I think I'm just so afraid to actually, like, I'm open to liking someone because it's what I want, but I'm also actually very afraid to.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I mean, why wouldn't you be?
I know, yeah. And I talked about that in therapy today, and it's just like, it's a weird thing.
Oh, I say the same thing. I think I always talk to my therapist about, and she was like, well, your fears that you've always had with a relationship exactly just happened to you. So she's like, of course you're going to be like fearful of your next relationship and like very cautious. And like, she's like, you will know when it's ready. And like, even if you find the right person, it's still going to fucking take work and trust, issues will still be there, and it's going to take time. And like, they definitely have to be patient with you. But like, both of us, like, our fears of what we hated, like, I hated abandonment.
Literally happened.
And
everything.
someone leaving me for someone else. And what exactly, you know, like, that's basically what happened. So it's like basically the same thing.
Yeah. And that's kind of what my person said as well. She was like, well, don't you think it would be weird if you just didn't care and you were just in a new relationship and like, you know, just like didn't care? Like, it's actually really good that you care and have a lot of this, like, you know, a lot of caution. You're taking a lot of caution.
And you're working. That means you're working on yourself and you're trying to not make the same mistakes.
And not even that. It's just like, at this point, I feel like I just have such a perfectionist mindset that it could hinder me from potentially finding a really great person or connecting with someone.
I don't know if I believe that, though.
Really?
Yeah.
For me specifically or in general?
No, for you. I think you will find someone that will check all your boxes. I think it just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen as quickly as maybe you want it to. And I think luckily you sometimes will like give people the benefit of the doubt when I'm like, we both know that's not going to be your person, babe. But like, I do think you just like love to love and you love to be loved. And you like also just meeting people. So I don't think it's like bad.
Yeah, I think I do really like to meet people. I'm like a social butterfly.
You
make new friends. But I think yes and no. I think I have met really great people that probably would have been great partners to me. But I do think that I have been a bit of the issue and like pushing people away because of that perfectionist mindset that I have with him. Like, you know, like it's easy to find a million reasons to not be with someone.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I literally do it. Like, that's my thing, even with the apps. Like, I can do it right away. And I'm like,
exactly.
But like, why am I basing it off of like a picture and like maybe some questions? But like, also, it is very important. So
like your Hinge prompts are make or break it for Shay.
Oh yeah, no, not my Hinge. It's really just like the pictures you decide to choose.
Yeah,
like you are presenting yourself in 6 pictures, and I think I've talked about this before.
That's like,
but like, so you decide to do one like cycling or like with a cat or with your sister, like shit like that. I'm like, I don't know. Also, I always say, I think I did mention this. When you have another girl, unless you guys look like twins, don't put it in there because who knows if it's your sister? It could be your fucking ex-girlfriend.
Or I would be like, what if I think that girl's cuter? Like automatically.
Oh my God, like you know what if it be like, oh my God, I'd rather have your sister than you.
Your sister's crazy. Anyway.
Okay, well, I guess we can kind of get into the topic, what we were supposed to do. We kind of went off topic, but it's
little Hinge vibes.
Faithlyn, we were at dinner the other day and she's like, I think our next episode should be how to leave someone.
Yeah. I think if you're in a relationship where you're not happy or it's a little bit toxic, it can be so hard to actually have the courage to leave. I think you can actually relate to it. And I know you said like, you were like, oh, you'll probably be talking about it. But I actually disagree. I think that maybe even if you didn't make the final decision, I think in your head you knew.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah. Faith and I always had it very hard because like she wanted to make that relationship work and her partner wanted to make it work too, but her partner wasn't putting in effort and wasn't doing any of the steps. And I think in a sense, would you say like not taking it seriously that you would actually leave?
100%.
So 100%. I think when you finally had that courage to leave, it's so big of you. And then also to stay too. Like if I was you, I would have been like, okay, I will leave for like a month and just come back. And like, but you stayed and you realized that she's not doing any work. She's not even kind of wanting to come out with you. It's all just words of being like, I love you. I want to marry you. I want to go pick up the address. Like I miss you, but not doing anything. Yeah. So I would say for you, I was like, you had so much courage to be so strong and not fall back into that trap and actually stay. Whereas I feel like I was trying to hold on to that relationship so hard and then the other person made the decision. So I don't know if I would say like how to leave someone. I think it would be more like how to pick yourself up after you've been left.
No, but I think you were also more blindsided than I was. I think in my head, and I've said this before, I told my dad and like my family members, I said, I'm giving this relationship 6 months. If nothing changes, I have to go. But I'm going to try everything. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to go to couples therapy. I'm going to get to the bottom of like, why do I want to be in this relationship? Is it because, you know, I'm in love with the idea of the future and the potential that we could have? Or am I really happy and content at this moment in time in our relationship? And after I thought about that, it was more so the potential of us rather than where we're currently at now. That was the first realization for me. The second was then seeing, okay, are there facts to back up the potential in this future version of us that I'm envisioning and dreaming about? Currently, at the time, there weren't. She was not being a great partner to me. She wasn't respecting me. She wasn't putting in the same effort of, you know, growing together and evolving our relationship. So that was the other thing where I was like, okay, so not only are these things not happening, there's actually no effort to even get to that point. After I made that realization about the relationship, it was time for me to then work on myself and build myself up to be able to leave and be content with my decision. So I got a CBT journal. And anytime I had an anxious thought, I would go through all the prompts. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. Basically, if you have an anxious thought, you will then challenge the thought to see if it can be like, is it 100% true or not?
Do you know where we used to do this?
What?
Where we had to do it?
Where?
Well, I don't know if everyone knows, but I had to go to treatment for an eating disorder, and we had to do that. We had so as soon as you had a thought, either about your body or food or something you want to do that you shouldn't, you write it down. Yeah. You kind of answer, why do you feel this way? What are your alternatives? What like is making you feel this? Finding the root cause of it, because it's always sometimes. It's just your mind is like, you got to find the root cause. So it's so funny. I always want to talk about it.
Do you do it now? I love my CBT journal.
Weirdly,
game changer.
I actually bought it when you told me about it. I did buy it. Yeah. I feel like I kind of just go back to like PTSD of like the person and I was in there like in treatment and like kind of that thing. So I can understand that. That's the only reason why like I don't love that method, because I think it just brings me back there. But I think it works for people 100%.
No, but I can understand that in that time.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I think that's great, and I think that was like really vulnerable of you to share. But and again, this is just what worked for me. Yeah. But also, I'm a big podcaster. I was not working at the time because I was going to open up my own studio where I was living. So I had a lot of free time. I was just like, you know, looking at studios and whatnot and listening to podcasts. And I would listen to podcasts literally on like how to leave someone or how to like break up pep talk. So I was like mentally preparing to leave, because I said to myself too, like, even if this is my person, and you guys know, like, I want to be a wife, I want to be a mom one day, I need to be able to tell my future daughter that I did not accept something less than like what I deserve. And like, I need to leave this situation literally for my future daughter. Like, I want to do that for myself, but also like for my future. So anyway, I did a lot of prep. I also would write, I still do this, Dear Me letters. In my laptop, I write like, Dear Me, you know, I'm feeling this, I'm going through this, it's so crazy, and just like, kind of just like, almost like my own like memoir in a way. Weird. So I do all this. Then fast forward, she does something that was just like the camel broke the straw, and I was like, that's it. I gotta go. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take space for a month. I told myself too, I was like, if work opportunities open up for me here, if I find apartment easily, if I'm happy here, that's another reason for me to stay.
The universe is telling you to stay.
Yeah, like the universe, God, whatever, you know, is telling me that this is exactly where I need to be. Also, my dad ended up getting an apartment like close to me. Yeah. Like there were just so many things, and I was like, okay, that was kind of it.
Sorry, I just one question with that.
Yeah.
Did you, when you said you were leaving, like did she kind of beg you to stay, or was she like was she think you were coming back? Like, what was her reaction when you were like, I'm booking a ticket to New York? Like, you're not just going to like a hotel room like for a night or two. Like, you're literally going to a different state.
You know, it was a lot of up and down because there was a couple of weeks in between for when I booked it, got a sublet, and I was still there. So we had lots of conversations, and it was very emotional for both her and I. And I really thought in my heart, 110%, I thought I was just going away for a month and coming back. Yeah. I really did. And I honestly think she did too.
I mean, even when you and I became friends and close, like there were still things back in my mind where I was like, I do think you are still holding on to this relationship, but I do think you could
move back to Oregon. Yeah.
And I know you love New York and you love everything here, but like even I think like if you don't have your studio here, like I think it would have been like you could have moved back way easier. Like luckily you have like ties here now.
You're like you can't leave. Yeah, I mean, I think it was so helpful though to just take a break for a month mentally for myself to really think like, is this a relationship I want to be in? Like, you know, am I where I want to be in life? Like just like really kind of got back up on my feet. And I know not everybody has like the privilege to be able to do that, but the main like takeaways I would say from this episode would be to get the CBT journal, unless it's a little bit of a sensitive
No, get it. No, get it for anyone else.
The Dear Me letters, taking time just for yourself to like actually think, because how often do we really ever do that? And listening to podcasts about like, even fast forward, just like breakup podcasts, like prepare yourself mentally, you know, like also another thing, if you're having doubts,
that's what I'm saying. If someone came to you about a relationship, like, I don't know, we really aren't doing well, like, I don't know if I'm happy in this relationship, like, what would you say to them?
I think I'd probably be like, well, no relationship is perfect. It really depends on the issues. Yeah. And it's so hard to say, but I think it depends on both people. Like, I really wanted to make my relationship work. I really respected and loved my partner. I think she really loved me. I don't know if she really wanted to make the relationship work. Yeah. And I don't think she respected me. So without like those things, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I think it is true. Like, I think it's such a hard thing when people like ask, like, do you think I should stay in this relationship or not? I'm like, first of all, no one can tell you yes or no. It's the two people in the relationship know everything. And some people can work through these problems if they're both willing to and everything aligns. Yeah. And then sometimes you can't. People might have the same issue in their relationship. It just depends on the people. And I think the willingness and, like you said, respect and all of that comes into play. But I mean, to me, you can't really, it's not like you ask us and I can't be like, oh, you should leave. Like, maybe be like, I can maybe give guidance, but like, you're the one in the relationship and you guys know everything. Like, we always say, no one knew our relationships besides me, us, and our partners, you know? Yeah. So that's how I feel about it.
And regardless, and also another thing, it sounds a little cheesy, but when I was in New York, when I first moved home, I was just in a place where I was like, give me a sign. Yeah. Like, I need a sign. Either I need all these signs that I should stay and all these signs that I should go. And I feel like I got them. But also, there is this coffee shop that was opening up right near where I was staying. And on the window, it said, "Courage is a love affair with the unknown." And it was so weird for me because it was like, I'm losing what I thought was the love of my life, but I have the courage to like fall in love with this idea of the unknown. And that was my new love. And now we go there all the time. It's Travelers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Guys, Travelers is the best. Wait, that's so funny. I didn't know that.
I don't know. Like, it wasn't even open yet at the time, but it just like hit me. I was like, I'm falling in love with this idea of the unknown, and I need to just be brave and like have courage and do it. Because I promise you, it always gets better. Life never gets worse. It does. It always gets better.
It can always get better. I mean, it can get worse too. Okay.
No, it can't.
I guess you're true.
Life always gets better. I've never left someone that I was like, I should go back to them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it always gets better. Oh, no. Yeah.
And I think even in my situation, like, I thought I wanted there, and now I realize
you don't.
It's better. We weren't meant to be together. And, like, it's so crazy. Like you said, the unknown it's almost beautiful in a way. Like, it's scary, but, like, you have so much opportunity and meeting so many amazing people and so many surprises that can come your way. Like,
I agree.
I know. Take it on.
What do you feel like really helped you after, you and your partner broke up? What do you feel like helped you the most? Like, if you were listening to this and you were in that position in the beginning, what do you think you would need to hear?
One, I definitely took therapy very seriously. And I think for me, it was, I have to look at myself and look at my issues and things that will help me become a better person. Not even for my next person, but just for me, a stronger person. Exactly. Yeah. And I think taking time for yourself after a breakup is the biggest thing and the most important thing for me. I need to realize I am a strong person on my own and realize like I am going to grow from this and just be so much stronger than the person I was 6 months ago, or whatever it is. So I think that was like my big thing. Obviously, like having such an amazing support system around me helped. And I think honestly, like you said, knowing that the past is in the past for a reason and your future is just gonna be so much brighter, and there's a reason why. Just remember, there's a reason why you are not with that person anymore. Yeah. And that's what I think.
It might not make sense in the moment, but it will make sense in time, because hindsight is always 20/20.
Oh, of course.
You'll eventually be able to see everything crystal clear. Is there some like weird thing that kind of like stuck with you that really helped you? Like my little like that quote that I saw in that window, as weird as that might sound, like really just it stuck with me and it really helped me so much.
My therapist said to me, and I will always stick by this now. Well, it was like two parts of it, but it was basically like if the person wanted to be with you, they would be with you. And I think one thing that stuck with me through when we were going through our breakup, I sat down and we had our talk, and they straight up said to me, like, I don't want you to fight for this relationship. And from that day on, I said, I will never be with someone who doesn't want to be with me.
100%.
Like ever.
That was like for me when she said to me, I'm just not in this anymore.
Yeah.
That was it. Was like that switch flipped, and I was like, you know what? No.
Because
like,
our people are going to be...
Thank you.
Yeah.
For saying honestly, that. Thank you.
And I agree. I said, honestly, if she didn't say something like that, I think I would have kept going, even if she wasn't even like giving me anything. I think for that, that solidifies. And I was like, wow, I will never, ever let someone... Honestly, in a sense, it was like... I felt like embarrassed that I was trying so hard and someone didn't want me.
Obviously,
so I was
we needed that.
No, and I needed that. So I was like, I will never let someone embarrass me that way. I will never
believe them when they tell you things like this. If they do, believe them and walk away.
Yeah. And at that point, I believed her, and I was like, she's out of this relationship. She's done. I was like, I'm not going to fight for this anymore. And that was that.
And also another thing, if you are dealing with something that's very difficult and you're like, what do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? Think about what you would tell your best friend.
Yeah.
If she was relaying this to me, vice versa, I would be like, girl, leave. You're nutty. But sometimes we're like so flexible with ourselves and our partners.
Yeah. And I think even like you said, and also with the support system around you, like I had friends that were so real to me about it, and they would be like, you know what, you're doing this, blah, blah. And then the thing is, I also knew it was time to go is when very close people to both of us were like, it's not for you.
Well, it's really hard because I think there's like a few month period where you're really in denial.
Oh, yeah.
It goes like denial, breakup, sadness, anger, then relief.
Yes.
You know, right now I'm definitely in, I think, more of the anger.
Yeah, you're in your anger stage.
Right now. And it changes weekly. Even.
Yeah.
Like, you and I talk about this all the time. Sometimes we feel indifferent. Sometimes we're like, who cares? Sometimes I feel like angry and like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just the emotions. And this is my thing my other therapist always says is like, I was like, I feel like my emotions go up and down a lot.
And we're just human.
And she's like, you were in a relationship for 5 years. Like, you think you're going to get over it in...
a year?
Like a year? Like that's so
crazy.
Much of your life. And I think it's so true. I'm like, you can't be as hard on yourself if you are not in the part
where you want to
or the
be.
person you think you would be after a breakup. Like, it is so normal for the up and down. It's for the anger, to not caring, to fucking like be pissed, to be sad, like be happy, be like, it's all these emotions at once. Yeah. And there's no set date you're supposed to be like, oh, you should be good by now. Like, there's not. Like,
no, it's so crazy because I think we put so much pressure on ourselves as individuals. And then when we, you know, when I hear you talk about it, I'm like, take all the time you need. It doesn't care. Like, that's crazy. But
like, feel your emotions. And I swear that was the best thing I did, was let myself feel those emotions, because I finally feel like that relief. And trust me, during that time, you will think you'll never get through it. You were like, I'm never. But like, when that relief comes to you, you can just like take a deep breath and be like, wow, like, wow, you're a stronger person.
You'll always be stronger than you think, and it's all temporary. Like, you won't feel like you miss this person forever. You just don't.
No,
like, that's not.
You know, it's reality. Always so crazy. I say it's like one day you wake up and you just like don't miss this person. You don't think about them. Like, it is so crazy. And I swear this will happen.
Because believe it or not, it does.
I remember I would ask like my friends who went through like really hard breakups. They're like, I promise you this day will come where you're just like you just wake up and you like don't miss them. And like when you do, you're just like, you know, you are just a stronger person now.
Yeah. Also, if you're unsure if this is your person and they're like being weird to you and hot and cold, like we were talking about, I'm sorry, like, they don't want you. Yeah. Somebody who wants you will be consistent and will never make you doubt that they want you.
No.
So if somebody is doubting you, they're not your husband or they're not your wife. Like, whatever, you know.
And don't let them embarrass you that way. Because
down. Oh my God. No, it's just funny. I agree.
No, don't.
No,
you're better than that. Like, your
it.
person will do everything, will never make you second guess.
No, they won't. And that's another thing too I'm thinking about.
Like, I was just rambling.
No, it's like another thing I've thought about recently too is like, is this my future wife? No.
I say all the time, I'm like, is this my future wife? No. Is this my future husband? No. And until I'm like, I'm not gonna ever fucking settle. Yeah.
Red flags and icks. Let's get into our red flags and icks, baby.
Of course. So I actually have a like not an ick, like a thing that like I think is so hot, because I just was like,
it's called red flags and icks, babe.
Yeah, but I want to do this hot because I know people like probably agree with me. Okay. Hands on a steering wheel. Like, when they have hot hands on a steering wheel, I think is so sexy.
Yeah.
And like they just like know how to
when
like
someone like drives nice.
Yeah. And also when they know how to parallel park. Like, I don't know why. I'm like,
okay.
What?
It's funny.
Like, nothing's worse than you're with someone they don't know how to parallel park. They take 45 minutes and they're like, can you get out and help me? You
get out and help me is crazy. That is crazy.
So yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh my God. A group of guys asking the waiter to take a picture of them is crazy.
Yep, it happened. I had to write that one. I wrote that one in real life because
IRL?
we were at Cipriani, which is also a very sceney, like, it's just sceney. Like, people don't like take pictures like that. This group of maybe 8 guys asked the waiter to take a picture of them. I said, absolutely not.
I think they were doing it more of as a joke though, but it's still an ick.
No, it was still cringy watching it.
Like, that's not going anywhere. That's, first of all, that's just staying in your camera roll.
Also, I've never seen this either. A guy had sunglasses, put them on the back
that's the main ick. Like a girl,
but upside down.
Were they upside down?
Yeah, they were upside down. I said,
like, you know, when a girl like puts her glasses like that, like he had his in a restaurant.
Yes. I'm sorry. I don't know why I froze there for a second. The picture was frozen in my mind.
It was so scary. I was like, I've never
it was
seen
not
it. Put it on your shirt.
But also, like, it's
shirt.
like 9 p.m. Why do you have your sunglasses even out? Like,
no, remember what I said to you the other day? I was like, listen, if we're drinking and it's nighttime and I put my sunglasses on, take me home.
Take her home.
That's like a new rule. I have been
a new friendship rule. Faithlyn,
Mom
I take her
duty.
phone away or send her home after a certain
point. If
point.
I have a few drinks, I act like a goddamn collections agency. I will go through and call everyone in my fucking phone list.
No, you do.
I think I'm going to start going out with like a flip phone and only have like 3 contacts in it. You and like my dad and Madison, because it's concerning.
No, it is kind of concerning, but it's also like kind of fun sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. I love being so entertaining for everyone.
No, I will make sure that doesn't happen. So you won't be getting a phone call from Faithlyn anymore.
Not anymore, girls. Do you have any other red flags or X or no?
No, I think I'm just traumatized by that. The sunglasses.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
No, in the picture, the group picture. All right, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and we hope you enjoy.
Yes, thank you. Please like, subscribe, comment, follow, share, all the things. We love you. Thank you.